Hello, Algebros. Our next method for solving quadratic equations is the method of completing the square. So remember, when we're completing the square, we have to make sure our constant is away from our other variables. So we're going to subtract 17 from both sides. Get x squared minus 18x equals negative 17. And then we identify our b term, and our b term is negative 18. Take b divided by 2, which gives us negative 9. And b divided by 2 squared, which is 81. That 81 is what we're going to add to both sides. And when we add that to the left, we create that perfect square trinomial, which is going to factor into x minus 9 squared. And we know it's minus 9 because that's what our b divided by 2 term is. So we're going to add 81 to this side. We get 64. And now that I have my squared term by itself, I'm going to take the square root of both sides. And I get x minus 9 equals plus or minus, and 64 is a perfect square. The square root of 64 is 8. And since it came out to a nice pretty number, we can actually find out what our actual solutions are. So I have x minus 9 equals negative 8, and x minus 9 equals positive 8. Add 9, we get x equals 1. Add 9, and we get x equals 17. And those are the two solutions. All right, same thing. We want to make sure all of our constants are to the right. So I'm going to add 31 to both sides. X squared minus 18x equals 40. My b term again is negative 18. B divided by 2 is negative 9. And b divided by 2 squared would be a positive 81. So 81 is what we're going to add. And we add it to the left, it's going to create that perfect square trinomial, so it'll factor into x minus 9 squared. Again, we know it's x minus 9 because that's what b divided by 2 is. When we add 81 to 40, we get 121. Now that we have our squared term by itself here on the left, we're going to take the square root of both sides, leaving us with x minus 9 equals plus or minus, and 21 is a perfect square. The square root of 21 would be 11. Since it came out to a nice pretty number, we can find out what our actual solutions are by separating that plus and that minus. I'm going to add 9 to both sides, and I get x equals negative 2 as one of the solutions. Add 9, x equals 20 as our second solution. All right, happy mathing!